Today I'll be working in my workbook called Preparing to Leave Mount Sinai, Census and Formation. And this is the very first book on the book of Numbers, and it covers chapters 1 through 4. Now, let's see here. Looking at the timeline, we are actually where the star is. So we're right in this period of time. The people are preparing to leave Mount Sinai, but they won't leave during this book. And probably not the next book either. I haven't written it yet, but based on my knowledge of what's going on, probably not the next book either. Anyway, so here's the chapters we'll be covering in these videos. And we will start with chapter 1, Preparing to Count the 12 Tribes. And that's Numbers 1 through 19. Okay, Numbers 1:1a. The Lord spoke to Moses in the tent of meeting in the desert of Sinai on the first day of the second month of the second year after the Israelites came out of Egypt. So the tent of meeting, the tabernacle and the tent of meeting around it was built in Exodus 40:17 on the first day of the first month of the second year. It is the center of the total encampment. Okay, so they've already built the tabernacle and the tent of meeting in Exodus, and now it's God is preparing them, and they're being prepared to leave Mount Sinai on their trip to the Promised Land. The desert of Sinai. The Israelites are still at the base of Mount Sinai. They got there in Exodus 19:1 and will stay there for nearly a year. Both the balance of the book of Exodus and the book of Leviticus was written there. Presently, they have been there for 11 months. Let's go ahead and look back at the thing here to see what I'm saying. Notice here that they were in Egypt. They traveled for 2 months, and so then they're camped at Mount Sinai. So they've been in Mount Sinai for 10 months, and they then work the Leviticus. They prepare and set up the first day of the first month of the second year. So it takes them 1 month to do the book of Leviticus. Then on the first day of the second month of the second year is where we are at this point. So as you see, 10 months plus 1 month, it's been about almost 11 months, or there'll be 12 months before they leave. Okay, we're back here. Who spoke to Moses and where? The Lord spoke to Moses in the tent of meeting. Where are the Israelites? They are at the base of Mount Sinai. How long has it been since they left Egypt? The first day of the second month of the second year. Remember, the year started the day they left Egypt. So it's a year and a month. Looking at timeline on page 3, how long were the Israelites in Egypt? 430 years. Okay. How long did it take the Israelites to travel on Mount Sinai? 2 months. Okay. Notice that the book of Leviticus was written on the first day of the second year. Therefore, according to the timeline, how long were the Israelites at the base of the mountain prior to the writing of Leviticus? 10 months, right? So they were there 10 months. Okay. Numbers 1b, he said, take a census of the whole Israelite community by their clans and families, listing every man by name, one by one. You and Aaron are to count according to their divisions all the men in Israel who are 20 years old or more and able to serve in the army. 1 man from each tribe, each of them the head of his family, is to help you. Numbers 1b, it says, he said. Who is this he? This is God. What does God want to happen? A census of the people, basically a census of the military man. There were a number of censuses taken in the Old Testament, but only with God's request. Although it's not considered a census, the first unofficial count was in Exodus 30 for collecting the half-shekel tax for the tabernacle. Then in Numbers 1 and 26, 2 large counts of military-aged males were made for organizing the army and allocating land. In Numbers 3 and 4, the counting of the Levites were made for the tabernacle service. And lastly, in Ezra 2, Nehemiah 7, for counting the returning exiles. David took a census not requested by God in 2 Samuel 24, which he was punished for. There are a number of qualifications that have to be met for a person being included in the census. What are they? Can you see the first qualification in verse 2? Man, they need to be male. The second qualification is in verse 3, 20 years old or more. And the third qualification, able to serve in the army. They could be over 20 years old, but handicapped. If one man from each tribe is going to help Moses and Aaron, how many helpers would there be? 12. Members of the tribe of Levi would not be in this count, but Joseph's tribe is divided in two, so 12 is the right answer. Numbers 1-5. These are the names of the men who are to assist you. From Reuben, Elazar, son of Shedeur. From Simeon, Shelumel, son of Zerashadai. From Judah, Nishon, son of Aminadab. From Ishkar, Nathaniel, son of Zwar. First, based on Numbers 1-4, what do we know about these next 12 men? They are leaders of their families. What are the 4 tribes listed here? Reuben, Simeon, Judah, and Ishkar. Who is the leader of the tribe of Reuben? Elazar. There's nothing more that we know about him other than the leadership duties. Who's the leader of the tribe of Simeon? Shelumel. And there's nothing more we know about him. Who's the leader of the tribe of Judah? Nahshon. Nahshon is the family line of Jesus, and he's the family line of Jesus. Who's the leader of the tribe of Ishkar? Nathaniel. There's nothing more that we know of him other than the leadership duties. These tribes are not listed in order of Jacob's sons' age, but looking below, what do they have in common? They are all sons of Leah. So Numbers 1-9, from Zebulun, Eliab, son of Helon. From the sons of Joseph, from Ephraim, Elishama, son of Ammihud. From Manasseh, Gamaliel, son of Pedahzur. From Benjamin, Abidan, son of Gideoni. Again, based on verse 4, what do we know about these men? They are leaders of their families. What tribes are listed here? Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, and Benjamin. Who's the leader of the Zebulun tribe? Eliab. There's nothing more we know about him. Who's the leader of the Ephraim tribe? Elishama. Who's the leader of the Manasseh tribe? Gamaliel. And who is the leader of the Benjamin tribe? Abidan. All of these, we don't know anything more of them other than their leadership duties. Based on Genesis 35, verse 23, prior page, who was Zebulun's mother? That would be Leah. Based on the scripture below, who is Joseph and Benjamin's mother? Rachel. In Numbers 1:17, Moses and Aaron took these men whose names have been specified, and they called the whole community together on the first day of the second month. The people registered their ancestry by their clans and families, and the men 20 years old or more were listed by name, one by one, as the Lord commanded Moses, and so he counted them in the desert of Sinai. In Numbers 1:1, what was the date then? It is the second year, the first month of the first year. The second year. Second year. Okay, let's take a look just to make sure I got it right. First day of the second month of the second year. How does that compare to the date in verse 118? It's the same date. How do you explain that? Basically, all this gathering and preparing has all happened in one day. The people registered their ancestry by clans and families. There is the tribe, the clans within the tribe, and the families within the clans. For example, the tribes of Reuben, Simeon, etc. As more and more people existed in the tribe, then clans were developed. For instance, all the family of Aaron and Moses are under the Kohathite clan, Kohath being the son of Levi. Then you have the family unit. For instance, Aaron, his wife, and his 4 sons were a family unit. The only individuals that were registered by their name and not just their family are whom? Any men 20 years old and older, basically, who can fight. Again, who commanded the census? God commanded the census. So now we have the crossword. Hopefully I know the answers without having to look. Number 3, who's the mother of Reuben, Simeon, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun? That'd be Leah. 5 is the first day of the second month of the second year, right? Number 3. Yep. 7, men counted by their name were those who were 20 years old or older and able to fight. The Lord wanted Moses and Aaron to take a census of the whole Israelite community. 10, Joseph's tribe was split into 2 tribes, Ephraim and Manasseh. 11, the mother of Dan and Naphtali is... I'll have to look on that one. Don't know that one. Bilhah. Did I ever read this page? I may not have read that page. Well, anyway. You get it. Dan Asher. Same as the other pages. I don't know why I didn't end up reading that page. Sorry. One man from each tribe, a leader of a family, is to help with the census. The Lord spoke to Moses in the tent of meeting. And number 6, the sons of Rachel were Joseph and Benjamin. And 9, who is the leader of the tribe of Judah? Nathaniel. We can look at that real quick. And Nathaniel. Let's see. Nishan. No. Yeah, Nishan. Sorry, Nishan. Well, I was close. Anyway, so that's the end of the first chapter on the book of Numbers. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll come back for the second chapter. Thank you.